Hey guys, it's Tom here from Canberra Martial Arts. Somebody asked me to put my origin story on video today, and I thought, why not? A bit sort of like I've told the story a million times, but he said to me, you've never actually put it on camera. So basically, here we go. So when I was a kid, I did judo when I was when I was a tween. Did that for a few years until the judo instructor disappeared from the PCYC. We'd go down with a $2 coin, and he would be there and teach us on a Saturday, kick our butts. And then my father passed away when I was 13. I didn't do martial arts for a while and got pretty angry. And I got into Taekwondo. My parents and the school got me into Taekwondo as a way to get my anger out after my dad passed away, which is, a long time ago now. Anyway, so I did Taekwondo for about 3.5 years. When I got to year 12, sort of 17, turning 18, schoolwork was too much. It all got a bit much, so I threw in the towel and went to university, and I met my lovely wife, who's responding to my message. And basically, a few years traveling around the country, working in different places, and then something went wrong. Now we went out to, we were visiting Canberra, visiting my wife's dad here, and we went out drinking, and I broke one of the rules that I always like to have. And it's basically rule number 1 is don't be there. And I talk about that in my courses a lot. So basically what happened is I went to somebody's house that I didn't know them, I didn't know where the house was, I didn't have a plan on how I was going to get home. And one of the guys started getting a little bit too sort of trying to chat up my darling wife. And I said to her, let's go. And as we were leaving, one of the guys said, hey, good luck with that. And again, I broke rule number 2. There's no point saying anything if it doesn't add value. And so, as the guy said, good luck with that, I said, haha, I don't need luck, which kind of enraged the guy a little bit. So, just a little bit. Anyway, so they started getting into an altercation, and we managed to get out of the apartment that we were in, and we backed out, and we were just getting to the lift, and this guy, every time I tell the story, this guy gets shorter and shorter and shorter. He was about that tall, gets shorter and shorter. His mate, who I tell gets bigger and bigger and bigger every time, his mate pushed him out of the way and said, look, no hard feelings, reached out and grabbed my hand, and then headbutted me in the face. Across the side here, cracked my cheekbone 2.5 centimeters across, 2.5 millimeters in there. Now, obviously, I did a little bit of soul searching, and spent the next year or so contemplating my existence, and I got an opportunity to move back to the Gold Coast and work with my family in a family business. And I thought, oh well, look at this, I've gone from 2.5 hours on the train each day in Sydney to the Gold Coast, living literally a 10-minute walk from where I worked. And I thought, look, I'll probably get back into some martial arts. And lucky for me, my obliging wife didn't have any issues with that because we didn't have kids then. And anyway, yes, I went looking a few gyms that I went into, and I didn't even walk in the door some of the places. And I'll never forget walking into the Hapkido Club on the Gold Coast there, walking in this gigantic dude, Angus, who taught me pretty much most of what I know. I walked in and I said, look, I'd just like to watch the class. He shook my hand, grabbed me, and he said, no one watches here. And he threw me into the deep end. And at the end of it, look, I was basically throwing my wallet at shut up and take my money. And I really enjoyed that. And look, I went from 0 classes a week to like 8 hours plus a week. Within a couple of years, I had a black belt in 2 different martial arts. I was going absolutely berserk. For the 5-6 years that I was on the Gold Coast, we just went nuts. I was training every day, teaching classes, doing all that. And then we came down to Canberra just after Christmas, Boxing Day 2010, and my wife got a job down here at the university, and I thought, I'll have a club. At the end of the first year, we'll have 10 members. And look, at the end of the first year, we had 50 members and a full-time facility just around the corner up at Colby Court here in Woden, in Phillip. And then it took me another 5 years before I realised that I had no idea how to run a business like this before. I'd run an online shop, I'd had a retail shop, I'd run an interior design business, all that stuff, but a martial arts business, all his membership, all that kind of stuff. And then 2016, somebody told me that it was a nice hobby that I had. Our Hapkido Canberra, which is probably it's Hapkido Canberra here. Nice hobby. And then, which basically I didn't sleep for 2 days. Anyway, so then I started looking at getting people involved and helping me out and teaching me how to advertise and do all that stuff that I now do every day. But look, the story is, everybody has a story. I'm going to be asking each of the instructors to put their origin story onto video and put it into onto the YouTube and Facebook here, because I'd love you to get to know all of our instructors here at Canberra Martial Arts. Look, so thanks for listening, and I look forward to seeing you on the mats. And yeah, no, this isn't Scotch.